So the Destiny gameplay reveal was a doozy. It looked great, so now I'm going to do an analysis of what we saw for you guys today. So, starting out, we see Earth, nothing too out of the ordinary. Here we have a Fallen scoping the area in Old Russia, as you can tell by the sign here, it's in Russian. The Warlock is let out of a spaceship. What kind? We don't know exactly.
To Old Russia.
Here we can see the wave emote used. Remember that Bungie said that we would have emotes.
There you go. You coming?
And now let's take a look at the HUD.
I knew you'd make.
We can see the ammo count with the gun the player is using, fairly basic. It's also on the gun itself, but that's most likely a feature of that specific gun, not all guns. We also see a sidearm, in this case a revolver, that the player can switch to. We'll cover more of this later. Also, the crosshair isn't exactly in the middle of the screen, and it also has a very tight spread when not aiming down the sights. We'll see more of this later as well. The number 5 here over the player's head, I'm assuming represents the current level of that character. You'll see enemies with numbers by their HP bars later, and some other players with numbers as well. There's also a radar in the top left that pulsates every couple of seconds to detect for enemies, and 2 icons in the bottom left corner. We'll cover those soon. Now, they just said they're going through the wall. The wall is the thing that protects the city. Does this mean the city is in Old Russia? Maybe. The Warlock brings out something called a Ghost, and it looks like it acts as a scanner for the area, but you'll hear a voice as well. It could be a remote-controlled camera or have some sort of internal AI. Where this thing came from, I'm not sure. It's possible everyone could have it, or it's a special item that you have to get, or it's a special talent exclusive to the Warlock. Right after the lights come on, thanks to the Ghost, we finally have some combat. Again, the enemies have numbers on their heads, most likely representing their level. You can see as the player shoots more and more rapidly, the hip fire spread gets bigger and bigger, but shrinks after not firing.
You're right. Yep.
The player is hit, but there's no HP bar, so we're probably looking at regenerating health. The player also has a melee swing, which is good. Another quick look at the radar. Teammates are in blue, enemies in red, as you'd expect. A little bit later, we see what looks like some sort of slide maneuver. As the player whips out their pistol, they get a headshot, which deals critical damage. He'll do it later as well. So it looks like all headshots are going to be critical hits, dealing extra damage like you'd expect. Notice how the hipfire spread stays the same for the revolver. It doesn't grow when fired. This might be an attribute of all pistols, or maybe just this one in particular. And if we look at the HUD, he has infinite ammo for this gun, also his primary gun, but this is probably a special thing for the demo itself so they wouldn't have to stop and look for ammo. Or maybe all guns have infinite ammo, but that seems unlikely.
Hey, we got more guys down low.
The Hunter enables one of their skills, which appears to be some sort of fire shot, dealing extra damage. The Warlock activates one of his skills, a big either gravity bomb or electrical bomb attack. It has a cooldown of around 10 seconds as indicated by the icon refilling.
Mop 'em up.
But why the icon is blue? I'm not so sure. Perhaps it's a specific attribute given to the skill itself. Perhaps the blue represents a modification from a talent point or otherwise some sort of upgrade, with blue representing shock or gravity damage. Out comes a boss with a skull instead of a level, obviously saying, hey, I'm a boss, and or really hard to kill. The Hunter dies pretty much right away, but you can see an option to revive him by pressing and holding square, and the number beneath represents how far you are away from them.
Don't go anywhere.
Here's the other Warlock skill, a Fireball. It's just a gray icon, maybe indicating that it has no modifications. Now his friend died right at the start of the encounter, which is over 30 seconds ago. I don't know if that means there's no time limit to be revived, or if the time limit is really long. It only takes a couple of seconds to revive. Now we get the sweet, sweet loots. It seems that each player gets their own individual loot, so there's no ninja looting. The Warlock gets Thunderlord, a heavy machine gun. As he picks up the gun, it's added to his HUD. Now he has 3 guns that he's able to use. And as we go to the equipment menu, we see 1, 2, 3 gun slots, with slots for head, hands, chest, that looks like a belt, and feet. It looks like the loot has its own color coding system as well. Obviously yellow is better than purple, but we don't know if green is better than purple, or purple is better than green, or if green's better than yellow, but I'd guess likely not. The guns each have their own levels. It might increase in level as you use it more or invest talent points, or it might just stay the same like Diablo 3 where it has a specific item level. It seems you also need additional materials to upgrade your gun. The 2 main things seem to be Glimmer and weapon kits. Is this Glimmer related to the potential enemy species Glimmer? Is it the in-game currency? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. We're just speculating. As we move to the gun menu, you can see you can upgrade your gun with talent points, likely gained on leveling up. This gun has a linear upgrade path, but maybe other guns have a non-linear path. It looks like your standard stuff in the beginning of the tree, but as you level your gun more, you'll get more unique abilities, which is good, because I wouldn't want to have generic upgrades all the way through. We can see the gun stats as well, but these numbers really don't mean too much to us yet. He tests out his gun, and while he shoots, he actually hits his teammate right in the face, and it just ricochets right off him, meaning it looks like there's no friendly fire. The hunter gets his loot, a sniper rifle, supposedly named...
What'd you get?
Check this out. I knew you'd be jealous of a sniper rifle.
Oh, I do like the long rifle. What's its name?
Shut up and get behind me.
which is a pretty good name. This appears to be the end of their journey. A level 11 Titan appears, appearing to be holding a shotgun. Notice the shells. If I were to guess, Titans are probably more tank-like, so they'll be up in the enemy's face more often, which means shotguns are good for them. You're probably not going to see too many shotgun hunters. The Titan then whips out a rocket launcher, which looks pretty sweet. And then some spooky stuff happens, and this is where the shared world part of Destiny begins. This event activates a public event, like a world event or world boss. It appears that this is when the seamless multiplayer kicks in, with all other players online at the time in separate games in that area, all converging into one. Now, there will most likely be a large spread of levels. Some people are as high as level 20. I don't know if there will be any equalization happening where everyone's equipment is matched to a specific level, perhaps the level of the boss in that area, so that fight is somewhat balanced. Other things like raising boss health or raising boss damage or reducing player damage are a possibility. Note that you can revive anyone. They don't have to be in your party. Here, a Devil Walker drops down, the supposed name of the spider tank as seen in concept art.
Hey, look out! We got another fire team coming in.
The Warlock uses his fireball ability again, but this time it kind of looks like a grenade. I still think it's a fireball though. I don't think they will have infinite, although cooldown required, grenades.
All right.
When the Warlock fires his weapon, the weapon spread just ever so slightly increases, so weapon spread increases and decreases are most likely tied to specific weapons. The boss dies, and it cuts to white, so no loot information is known here, but there will most likely be some sort of loot or points. Okay, wow, that was quite an earful. Overall, it's sort of what I expected to see. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that's great, that's what I wanted to see. I thought what we saw was fantastic, and I'm glad that they have certain elements in the game like levels and talent trees. It gives it that MMO feel that I wanted for this game. We didn't see any PvP or raids or anything like that, but hey, baby steps. I'll be at E3 today, tomorrow, and Thursday, so stay tuned for any possible exclusive stuff I might be able to post on the channel. My name's Dado, and I want to thank you for watching.